Scotland did pose the Boks a few problems, right? I think any South African fan or Scottish fan would agree. Scotland came to Pretoria with the right intent. You could tell that the guys, by the way, were used to playing in Pretoria. Some of them from the Glasgow side and the Edinburgh side, obviously, that play in URC, so have been there multiple times. And I was just impressed that there were no tired bodies during that game. I mean, there were, right? But you wouldn't tell. The guys were machines, both the Boks and the Scots, which treated us to an excellent game. What can the Boks learn from this? First of all, the guy who said that my pink shirt yesterday wasn't nice, I took that personally. Just kidding. I made a lot of videos yesterday in that pink shirt. I watched the rugby all day. It was great. I think that Rassie's already working on the fact that, you know, the Boks defence was split up quite a few times. I was jokingly saying that he didn't sleep tonight because he was busy fixing that problem. Now, I know, guys, that the Boks didn't have their A-team, but the Boks and Rassie don't always want to play their A-team. Rassie doesn't want to be dependent on A-team 23. He wants all the choice that he can have in his nation, right? He could go into... I'm sure that if Rassie toured South Africa and just went into all the different neighbourhoods and sort of spotted a few guys that aren't even professionals, he could concoct a 23. He could cook up a 23 that would do quite well, like of non-professional guys, just because they're South African and they believe in their rugby. They believe in what they can do. They believe in their strength. This is not coming from a South African. This is coming from a French and English guy who respects the South African country and what they've done and how rugby is such a big thing over there. I still think that Scotland, what they did to South Africa will inspire the teams. Scotland decided to play a physical game. They were physical. They didn't make too many handling mistakes. I was quite impressed. The only thing I remember was Finn Russell sort of passing in to touch a few minutes before the end. But they didn't make too many mistakes. They brought it onto the Boks, right? They hit the Boks quite hard. There was some really rough hits. And coming from the Scots also, not only from the Boks. You often think that the Boks are the ones that are hurting the Scots, but no, it was from both sides. And Scotland passed the ball out, good handling onto the wing. There was often times, you would see Tupolotu to Russell. Russell would do sort of a little small pass, a short pass to his right, and then that player would fling it onto the winger, and there would be quite a lot of room. So it was Steyn and Rowe on the other side, or was it Mackay? No, I think it was Rowe. Oftentimes found themselves into space and then would cut in, and suddenly Scotland, that were just launching attack sort of 30 or 40 metres out, were 5 metres away from the try line. That happened a few times. Edge to edge. Really, really interesting game brought to you by the Scots yesterday. I think that they played exactly how they should have played. That's what I kind of predicted, that they would bring it onto the Boks and they would play some form of disorganised rugby. Now, it was very organised, but they were dangerous. They were dangerous. They decided no one else has done this, playing from their 22 against South Africa. When they needed to score, and it was the forwards sort of with a cheeky short pass, either inside or outside to a support line, and boom, they were through. How many times in the last 20 minutes did we see a sort of a Scottish forward break loose on the run, and there was oftentimes not enough support for him. Brilliant to see. And the hostility of Pretoria crowd, sort of when the Scottish guy burst through the defence, and you'd hear the crowd sort of, I don't want to make the noise that they were making because it's sort of getting into some childish stuff, but no, they were great. It was a great atmosphere. It must have been great. Did anyone go to the game that's watching this? What a game it was. I think that South Africa will learn that they need to work on their defence, because that wasn't like a C team, guys. So many people are saying that's like a third or fourth string team. It is not. Papier for me is the best number 9. Prove me wrong. Ambrose Papier, what a guy. He scores for the balls like he does for South Africa. That first try was pure class. I think he's the number 9 for South Africa. I mean, who else? Grant Williams, he's good, but he's not as good as Papier, right? Reinach, I do like Reinach. I do. But is he not getting on a bit? I don't know. Pollard, I think, is great. I like Sasha FM. I mean, I prefer Sasha FM, to be honest. But Pollard is the second choice, right? He's quite good. They had Willemsen, okay, the wingers were maybe not the no, wingers. We didn't have Colby and Aronson, did we? But we had Willemse, we had, who played 15? Oh my God, who played 15? Fassi. Do you guys like Fassi? Do you think he's much good? I'm not a fan of Fassi for the Boks. I think he plays very well for the Sharks. The last times I've seen him play for the Sharks, he was on point, he's electric. But for some reason, for the Boks, he's not the same. Could be wrong. Van der Merwe, I don't think was very good. You know what? I wouldn't even blame him. I just think he didn't get the ball, and when he did, he just was starving to get the ball, so he effed up a bit. But most of South Africa players were, second choice, even some first choice. I'm sorry. I mean, Willemse, Papier, Pollard. Those are guys you want in your 23, right? Could be wrong. The forwards too, Vilko Low. I like the Chunu. Am I saying it wrong? Probably. He's good. He's good. What a man. Like, he seems so scary, to be honest. He seems like the guy that you do not want to lock heads with in a scrum. And you do not want to lock heads with also in an argument. Scary fella. Anyway, the Boks, even if it wasn't their A team, Rassie is going to be concerned, because I think that it's just the style of play of the Boks was maybe not immune to the style of play of Scotland. I think Scotland would have done the same thing towards a Springbok A team. I think that they'd have also found those leaks in the defence. I think that South Africa, though, will work on it. They're the kind of team that would learn from that and immediately correct it, and it will be very difficult for the next team that play them. Let's not talk about Wales, guys. Apologies to Wales, but they're not going to beat South Africa. Let's talk about New Zealand. Are New Zealand going to watch that game? Are they going to see what Scotland did and try and learn from it? Are they going to anticipate what South Africa will bring to them? Should be quite interesting. I think that Rassie will have a lot of work to do before playing the All Blacks 4 times, I believe, because let me just say, because I know that the comments will say, bro, it wasn't even that tight. It wasn't that tight if you look at the score at the end. But if you watch the game from A to Z, you'd understand that it was very tight. And South Africa scored a good try at the end, tied bodies, scored a good try at the end, and sealed the game. But it was very tight until the last play, really. I mean, genuinely, Scotland, you can't even say that they didn't play as well as the Boks. They showed up. But that's what separates a great team from a good team is the ability to win those games. By South Africa winning that game, they proved that they were the greatest, in my opinion, because, it's like in any other sport, really. Even if you're not having the best of days, even if the other team goes all out and brings it to you, even if whatever, if you can win the game and close it out, then you're a great rugby nation. So good on you guys, good on South Africa. I cannot wait once again to see them play against New Zealand. I think it's going to be fire, because what we saw against Scotland may just be a bit of hope for other nations. Because if Scotland can go away in Pretoria and almost beat the Boks, even if it was a second string Boks, guys, I think that there's hope for other nations to maybe just bother South Africa a bit. And every other nation, as I said, is treating South Africa kind of like a final, right? If you play South Africa before the Rugby World Cup, it's an opportunity to test yourself at the highest level and to beat the best at the game right now. So maybe South Africa won't lose until the World Cup, I don't know. Will they lose a game against the All Blacks, or will they do a 4-0? If they do a 4-0, then they're absolutely killing the All Blacks' confidence. That would make the Rugby World talk. Enough for today. I'll see you tomorrow, because I've got lots more videos to come, boys and girls, because there are lots of ladies and gentlemen watching this channel. By the way, guys, you are the best. I really enjoy talking about rugby with you guys. It's such a pleasure. I'll see you soon.